Hey, it's Brian Mudd, and this is the cheat sheet for Monday, April 30th. Several things to cover here this morning. First, let's talk about what the economy actually is. We are the 92%. I'm not talking about anything that has to do with Occupy or, Class MB warfare, whatever. I'm actually talking about economic growth. Typically, in a healthy economy, we as the consumer represent 70% of all economic growth or decline as the case may be. Well, we became the 92% in the first quarter. You might have heard with the slow growth at 2.2% that we were making a lot of purchases, that we were spending more than we have in some time, and thus accounting for more of the economy than we usually do. Well, we did. Rather than 70%, we were 92%, and a big part of that is we saw defense spending drop at the federal government level, and we also continue to see state and local governments rein in their spending as well. How I get to that number, we had 2.2% economic growth, and our consumer spending drove 2.02% of that economic growth, or about 92%. Now here's the thing, we were making big purchases. Automotive sales were huge, and that accounted for a lot of our spending, and so was real estate. And while I continue to think that real estate will perform well heading forward, especially relative to where we've been, we can't count on ourselves to be spending 92% of the overall economic growth in this country. That's not sustainable over the long term. So in other words, we do have some risk as we head through this year of the economy slowing down still further because the numbers always even out. They always average back at 70. So our consumer spending will have to come down as a rate of the overall economic growth going forward. Just a little food for thought. Now let's talk about corporate profits. This is as big of an indication about how important to Apple and even the financials they're turning around are to our overall economy than anything else. We have, so far, through the first quarter earnings reports we've seen, the average revenue growth of a company in corporate America is up 6.2%. Not bad. Slower than the 10% we saw in the fourth quarter last year, but we'll take 6.2. And they've been able to turn that into 6.7% profit growth. But here's the thing. When you remove Apple and the banks, Apple and financials, the overall growth of revenue and profit of the S&P 500, zero. So it's really about Apple and the banks starting to turn themselves around after the financial crisis. Beyond that, wow, you got to be careful. And here's where what this means. The stock market is near the highest levels we've seen since the economic decline started in November of 2007. We're also heading into that dreaded May period where you have some people say sell and May go away. You got to be extremely careful. It's always a stock picker's market in my bet, but more so now than ever before. You can't just buy an average stock and expect it to do well with the stock market where it is and with Apple and the financials accounting for so much of the overall growth, basically all of the economic growth that we're seeing in this economy right now. Amazon's tax stance. This is not good news if you like not having to pay taxes on online purchases. To date, you only have to pay them if the company you're buying from has retail operations physically in the state you're buying from, in our case, Florida. So in a lot of cases, when you buy stuff on Amazon or other related sites, you don't have to pay online sales tax. Well, Amazon just struck a deal to begin collecting sales taxes in Texas starting in July, and it's another indication that they are changing their tax stance and that we likely are going to see the era of being able to avoid sales tax online end. It's probably going to be here within the next year, pretty much around the entire country, especially as states are looking to fill budget shortfalls. And how would you like to be able to gift a free gift card, $5 to $15, to top retailers, to friends, for free? No charge. Well, it's coming. There's a new app that a lot of retailers, including Gap, have taken a shine to that are going to begin offering you the opportunity to gift cards to friends, and you'll be able to do it for free. Anywhere from $5 to $15. It depends on if the people you're gifting to are in their core demographic. It's a way for them to use you to help advertise their business for them and get people into the retail stores themselves, because as we know, online sales have taken such a bite out of the traditional retailer. It's interesting. I want you to read my physical cheat sheet for more information about that. That is the cheat sheet for today. Enjoy yours. We'll see you tomorrow.